What is the deal, Raider Nation? Man, having a little technical difficulties. Hold on. Let your boy get it together. Let your boy get it together. But as we here, man, I want to let y'all know, welcome to another episode of the Raider Rundown. As I get my shit together here on the live because my camera is fucking up, I will go ahead and get my intro started. But let y'all know what we're about to do today, right? Today, man, we're about to go over the Las Vegas Raiders injury report, right? See what's going on, see if Jimmy G is going to make his return. Like I told y'all yesterday, I'm about 75, 80% sure Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be playing in this game. So without further ado, man, let me go ahead, get through this intro, right? And let's get the show cracked.
As a young guy, I had a dream that someday I would build the finest organization in professional sports.
Man, what is the deal, Raider Nation? Look, the camera's still fucking up, but it's okay. Oh, and here we are. How y'all doing, man, on this nice, lovely Thursday? Like I said, man, you're back for another episode of the Raider Rundown. Make sure y'all are tapping on the like, on the subscribe button, hit on the little notification bell so you get updated when I drop lives like this, man, so you don't miss none of the updates that I got coming to y'all. So like I said, man, we are going to go ahead, right, and go over the injury report. Wait for a couple more people to get up in here. We're going to go over the injury report for the Raiders today. Had their first little day of practice, right? Some things to go over, some things to talk about. And at the same time, after that, we're just going to go over just a little bit of film. You know how we do on these Thursdays, right? Teach Tape Thursday. So at the end of the day, we got to go ahead, get into the film, and we're going to be watching a little Aiden O'Connell from my guy, Marcus Johnson. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get in here. Let's see who all up in the live so far. Got a couple people in here. My boy Solo, what's the deal, man? Hey, first of all, if you guys are new to my channel, you don't know my guy Solo, make sure you go to his channel, right? He got that good Raider talk, same as here, right? Go ahead, go to his channel, subscribe to that, man. You're not gonna be disappointed what you hear from my brother right there, man. So nice to see you up in the chat, man. But what y'all doing, man? What y'all doing on this lovely Thursday? You know me, I gotta always tune in to the Thursday night game. It seemed like for the past couple weeks, right? The Thursday night game has been opponents that the Raiders are going to have to play down in the schedule. So, of course, you know, I'm sitting here doing a little soft scouting for the Chicago Bears. I know that's a couple weeks away, but at the end of the day, it ain't never hurt to do a little soft scouting, right, and see what your opponent is doing. As far as the Bears, they have a little crazy trend right now. Same with the Raiders. Not saying with the Raiders, actually. It's kind of opposite of the Raiders. They play a beautiful first half, right? Their first half is very beautiful with Chicago. And then, you know, they start to lose steam in that second half. Kind of opposite of the Raiders, right? The Raiders are kind of a second half team up to this point in the season. You know, but not very consistent in the middle tiers, in the middle quarters of the games. And that's what really pisses us off, right? In that second, third quarter, Raiders aren't as good as they need to be. So at the end of the day, you know, just seeing how other teams operate, same thing with Green Bay, right? I mean, this Monday night, Green Bay is not a first half team. Okay, they're a second half team. They're kind of the same. Green Bay is more similar to us than Chicago. Green Bay is a second half team. They're kind of shitty in the first half, right? Same with us. So it's going to be real crucial on Monday to get started quick. All right, we got to jump on that ass early. Because at the end of the day, like I said, they're a second half team, bro. They will come back on your ass, right? Oh my God, look at Washington. But Green Bay will come back on your ass if you are not careful. And if it's still a game after halftime, right? Then at the end of the day, they have the ability to take off on you, right? And we haven't shown the ability to kick it into gear until the fourth quarter. So at the end of the day, this is something we got to be really weary of, man. Monday night coming up, but you know, we're gonna see what this team is really about. Do I put it on players? Yes. I put this next game on Monday night before we go through the injury report. I put this game on players to tag, right? But this is more along the lines of Josh McDaniels has to show himself as a coach. I don't give a damn what other people think of him. I don't care if people think he's an offensive guru. He ain't showed that shit since he put on silver and black, right? So at the end of the day, he has to prove himself. Not only to us, to the fans, we're a small part of it, but to his own locker room. His own locker room has to see that something has to go right, especially on a team that you should beat. I don't give a damn. The way this roster is constructed, you're not supposed to be losing these type of games. But at the end of the day, right here we are. So to me, Josh McDaniels is coaching for his coaching life on Monday, right? They're all the whole staff is coaching for their lives on Monday, which is why it leads me to believe a number of things that, I've been told or I've read, right? So at the end of the day, I want to go over the Raiders injury report and see, who's active, who didn't practice, right? All that. So at the end of the day, remember, make sure you guys are tapping on the like, tapping on the subscribe button. I'm going to keep you updated with all that good Raider update, right? And at the end of the day, Thursdays I always go live, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern. So let's go ahead, go over the injury report, right? See what we got going on for the Raiders. Let's start it off. Big one, Devontae Adams with a shoulder. He did not part in today's practice. Now, keep in mind, because the Raiders are playing on a Monday, that does, lengthen the schedule, or so to speak, right? It gives you more time. So, whereas on a regular work week on a Sunday, right, the Raiders will play on a Sunday, their first day of practice would be on a Wednesday. Okay, but since the Raiders are playing on Monday, you get that nice little extra day of rest. So, first day of practice is today, right? And going on until Saturday. So you go, Devontae Adams with a shoulder did not part. Kind of expected that, right? You kind of want to keep your star player healthy as possible. Okay, I do anticipate he's going to play. I think Devontae is going to play. But at the end of the day, why rush him? So it's only Thursday. You got a couple of days. Seems like today was kind of like a veteran get your rest day type of thing for him. So Devontae out today. Jacorian Bennett with the hamstring and a shoulder was limited. Now, keep this in mind. Everybody was saying Jacorian Bennett got benched against the Los Angeles Chargers. Josh McDaniels has come out and cleared that up a tad, and he was saying that he had something he's dealing with. He didn't really get into it, the specifics, but Jacorian Bennett is dealing with something, and we see he's listed with a hamstring shoulder. That hamstring injury, especially for them speedy guys, right? Hamstring injury for a speedy guy is a real hindrance. You don't want that because at the end of the day, it limits your stride. It limits how much you can really open up and really. And since he's a corner, he's going to need to be hip to hip with some of these receivers that we got coming up. So at the end of the day, that's an injury that we got to monitor. Although he was limited, still practice. It's not keeping him out. Something you do need to monitor. Okay, so Jacorian Bennett limited today, hamstring shoulder. Max Crosby limited with that same knee injury he had last week, although it didn't really seem to slow him down against the Chargers. So at the end of the day, they might just be keeping him limited to keep him fresh, things like that, right? So the big one, Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, Jimmy Garoppolo with a concussion was limited today, but he was a full go in today's practice. Okay, now keep in mind that first day of practice really ain't no pads on, really ain't none of that. It's more like a, you got your shirt, you got your shorts, shit like that. So he'd be able to go ahead and practice. All right. So keep this in mind. All right. Josh McDaniels came out today in his presser and said that Jimmy Garoppolo is still in the concussion protocol. All right. But he's in the final stages. Now, to me, if a concussion is lasting goddamn through 2 weeks, right, at the end of the day, something is weird if it's lasting 2 weeks. And if he does not play this week because of a concussion, then it's going to be like, all right, like that's kind of weird. Now, you all know me. I want a no counter start. But at the end of the day, right, we are sitting here still looking at Jimmy Garoppolo because, like I said, I anticipate Jimmy is going to play if he's healthy and he's cleared. I'm 80% sure that Jimmy is going to play if he's cleared and ready to go. But the real question is, will Josh McDaniels revert Aiden O'Connell back to that third string quarterback or will he keep him as the number 2? I think it'd be stupid to put him back as your number 3 inactive quarterback. But at the end of the day, we have no idea what this coaching staff is going to do, right? So we're at the mercy of Josh McDaniels and the genius of the coaching staff. So as we continue, right, Jimmy Garoppolo has concussion limited, but he was a full go. The next big one, Nate Hobbs with an ankle. He did not part today. All right, now it kept him out last week. And he was kind of a late little scratch last week. So now he's seeing he did not part. We got to keep real close eye on that because come tomorrow, all right, we're going to need him to be limited in some type of fashion. All right. Nate Hobbs is going to have to be limited in some type of fashion. And if he is not limited right tomorrow and he does not part again tomorrow, I do not like his chances on playing for Monday. I don't, right? I really do not. So at the end of the day, we have to hope that Nate Hobbs is out there limited tomorrow. You know, you can tell, although the defense played pretty good, you could tell his presence was kind of missed, especially in the tackling game, right? We needed Nate Hobbs when it comes to tackling. The tackling was fucking atrocious on Sunday against the Chargers, and Nate Hobbs is one of our more sure tacklers. So at the end of the day, you can tell it was kind of a loss there on the secondary's part, but you know, hopefully he can get out there. Right? I don't see. And this is, I was gonna say this, but at the end of the day, we're gonna keep that going. But Malcolm Kuntz with a groin, he's limited, right? And I was gonna say, David Long Jr. did leave the game last week with an ankle injury, so that was going to be a real question mark for me, right? Is he going to play? If Nate Hobbs didn't play, was David Long going to play? Because both of them are out, our secondary is very thin at this point, right? Very, very thin. So at the end of the day, seeing David Long was limited with an ankle today gives me a little bit better hope, right? Because now our secondary isn't so thin. We still are missing Brandon Facing, no update on that, right? So remember, he came out inactive type shit. So we have no idea what's going on with Brandon Facing. Now our secondary is taking a major hit with, now you have Nate Hobbs out, you know, and David Long kind of banged up. So now we're going to be really relying on the young pup, not even young pup. This man's a veteran at this point, Meek Robertson, right? We're going to be relying heavily on the Meek Robertson come Monday night. And we'll see what he does. You know, he played a pretty decent game against the Chargers. You know, I'll be the first one to say sometimes that a Meek does piss me off, but at the end of the day, a Meek, when credit is due, and the Meek Robertson did not play bad at all. I feel like our secondary isn't bad. You know, our secondary hasn't been really terrible. Yes, they play off the ball sometimes, but I just put that and attributed that to Patrick Graham wanting to play that bend but don't break type of style of defense, right? And for the most part, the defense has been bend but don't break. Now, it's kind of hard to be a bend but don't break type of team when your goddamn offense turns the ball over as much as they do, right? So at the end of the day, it's hard to do all that. But let me get to some of this right here, man. Here we are. What's good, Rundown? Hey, you are correct, my man Clifford. You're not wrong, man. Must win. And the crazy thing is, right, I don't even want to say must win because I didn't use that damn term for 2 weeks straight. No lie, right? If you've been on the channel, I've used that term must win game for 2 weeks straight because at the end of the day, I felt like it was warranted. You go against Pittsburgh, first home game, right? First home game against Pittsburgh, I said that was a must win because you had to set the tone at home. Set the tone at home. You didn't set the tone. So boom, right? Game against the Chargers. I said it was a must win too because you don't want to fall to 1-3. You don't want to fuck around, right? And because your schedule, although it gets a little easy, you don't want to drop games you're supposed to fucking drop. You're not supposed to fucking drop. Let's put it like that. Drop that game. So for me to say this is a must win, it makes it a little scary for me, especially because we're at home and the whole world is watching, right? And we know what we do. We don't have that fucking. I'm waiting for the day where the Raiders finally get a team, finally get a coaching staff, where it's like, all right, man, you know, when we get on the Monday night stage, when we get on the Sunday night stage, goddamn it, even the Thursday night, we're not gonna come out here and fucking embarrass ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, can we finally get a national stage and finally look good so we can all be proud of our fucking team? But at the end of the day, right, we don't have it yet. We don't have it yet. My man Clifford says it's a must win for Josh McDaniels. Now I put, you know, yeah, you're right. You're right. It is. It is. Like I said, man, he showed us as fans a goddamn thing, right? Now, me, I was never on the fire him train after 1 year, but that's only because I say I wanted to keep the continuity, see what he did the second year, right? But if I'm not mistaken, you have 7 wins and 12 losses, something like that. No, we're 7-14 as a head coach, right? So coming into your second year with your team, you're supposed to be getting all your guys, right? That second year is when you say, all right, now I'm starting to mold this team in my image. But if you're talking about a team that's going to be on the ascension, you need to see some type of ascension, right? Now, if we were sitting here, maybe 3-1, right, something like that, I can sit here and be like, all right, bro, like it's looking good. You know, it's looking good. Because every year when you get a new coaching staff, you need to see some type of improvement, right? First year, maybe shitty. First year for me, I'm not gonna lie to you. First year for me, I always give a coach a grace period, right? That's just me. That's just me. I always give a coach a grace period unless it's really fucking egregious, right? Unless it's really egregious. But I give coach a grace period for a first year. Maybe, and you can say it's wrong, you can say it's not wrong, whatever, you know, you're entitled to your opinion. But for me, you know, that's what I feel like is fair. So after that first year, you get no mulligans with me, right? Because at the end of the day, like I said, you're supposed to get your coaching staff. You're supposed to get the players you want. You're supposed to get the people in place that you have for your system, right? So now we're here. We're here with Jimmy Garoppolo, with hand-picked, selected guys that you wanted, right? Didn't spend money on the defense yet again, and here we are, 1-3. So now he gets no more grace period for me, right? You just showed your ass. You just showed your ass. So now here we are. And so for me, I think that when Monday night comes around, he better fucking have a great game plan for Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay? Because y'all know my thoughts. Okay, everybody here knows my thoughts. If you're new and you don't know my thoughts, I think Aiden O'Connell should start. I do. Because I think from as rookie as he looked on Thursday, I still think that he gives us the best chance to win. Because I think each week we're going to see him get incrementally better. That's just me. I don't know how much growth, for me, we're going to see from Jimmy Garoppolo, right? Now, of course, anything positive he does right now because he's played so garbage would be a positive, right? It's going to be like, okay, yeah, at least he's playing better. Anything he does positive is better at this point. But for me, I'm always a firm believer. If I got veterans making certain type of mistakes, I might as well throw young guys in there because I can give that a grace. With veterans, I can't do that shit. You know what I mean? Like you're old enough in the league, you've been in the league long enough to know certain shit you can and cannot do. Right? Certain shit you can and cannot do. So, you know, for me, I don't give no mulligans. I don't give no mulligans to veterans. Veterans don't get that shit because you're expected to perform at a certain level, right? You're expected to perform at a certain level, and that's the shit that we're not getting. Like exactly like how I get on Colton Miller, right? Certain people on this team, certain veterans on this team are not performing as well as we get into that conversation. Certain veterans we need to perform are not performing. Right tackle spot, right guard spot. Colton Miller is too inconsistent, right? And some people will say, okay, yeah, you got to give him just a little bit of a break. You know why I can't give certain people a break? Because if you're going to name to me that this player is a top 10 player, right? As far as maybe Josh Jacobs, as far as maybe Colton Miller, certain other players on our team, you're going to tell me he's a top 10 player. I need top 10 production, right? And the reason I don't give no breaks is because we literally see every Sunday, every Raiders game, we see what a motherfucker who's top 10 in their position, top 5 in their position. We see what he does week in and week out, and that's Devontae Adams. That like the shit we see from Devontae is what it's supposed to look like if you're gonna claim yourself to be a top 10, top 5, anything in this league. Consistency, right? Now with Josh Jacobs, it's a little more difficult because he's more reliant on a position with the offensive line. So it's a little more difficult. But with certain other players on our roster, right? So let's talk about the offensive side of the ball. Certain other players on our roster, Jimmy Garoppolo, Colton Miller, Greg Van Roten, Jermaine Illuminor, right? These are guys that need to perform at a higher clip. They need to perform at a higher clip. There's no excuse. Okay. Now, this is what I say. Because Josh McDaniels, like I just provided to y'all, told us that Jimmy Garoppolo is now going to be full go, right? And if he is healthy, everybody, including me, anticipates him to start. If that's the case, you get no mulligans. You have to come out here and score over 20 points. Score over 20 points because Josh McDaniels is risking a lot, okay? Because we all know, and I was thinking about making a video about this, but if you risk it this Monday and you throw Jimmy Garoppolo back out there and you don't score over 20 points in front of your home crowd on national television, oh yeah. The boos, the heckling is going to be fucking tremendous in Las Vegas if this man were to really, really fuck this game off, right? And, you know, we talk about a lot. And yes, I want to touch on this real quick. We saw the little video of Mark Davis and the fans, right, on Sunday. To me, at first, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to y'all because, you know, I don't lie. It ain't me. I got a little emotional at first when I saw it. And then I looked, he said, smarten up. I'm like, motherfucker, you got to smarten up. You see what's going on, the product on the field. But in watching it a couple more times and seeing it a couple more times, to me, it looks like he's telling the fans to smarten up before they get kicked out of the game, right? Because at the end of the day, you can see him at the tail end of that video. They keep saying the product, we're not good, we're not good. And you can see Mark Davis saying, I know, I see, I know, right? So you can see him saying that at the end of the video. I believe he's acknowledging what's going on, at least to a degree from what it looks like. He's acknowledging that it's not looking too good, right? So at the end of the day, we have to sit there and really assess. That's what I have to do as well. So I think he's telling the fans to smarten up before they get kicked out. But it looks like Mark Davis is acknowledging what's going on the field. So if he's acknowledging that, then the premise that we have here on this channel becomes even more relevant when we're saying that these 3 to 6 game stretch is the most important 3 to 6 game stretch of the season. No doubt, right? Let me look at what my man Clipper says. Defense has played good enough for us to win games. We need more than 18 points. Correct? Correct. We have to play against the refs and coaching decisions every week. And that's the problem, right? What happens is with this team is that the Raiders jump out to a good little lead or good little momentum come, you know, the first quarter. First quarter, they're very effective. They're very nice, right? When you look at the second, third quarter, the drop-offs happen, right? The drop-offs begin to happen. And for me, that falls on the coaching staff. That's the coaching staff. Because you have to make some sort of adjustments before the second, before halftime, and after halftime, right? You got to do something. You got to be able to make some type of adjustments before and after halftime. And right now, this coaching staff is failing to do it, right? And on the other side of the clip, on our defense, right? And I've been pointing this out for weeks, okay? The offense is turning the ball over, one, and we have a nasty habit on defense, a very, very nasty habit of giving up points before the half. All right. Now, this is the thing. We need to stop giving, as a defense, we're giving up points before the half way too goddamn much. Right. And that then comes to bite us in the ass because more times than not, the other team receives the ball after half. Or the Raiders offense comes back after half and scores no points. So then the momentum is really fucked. Okay, the momentum is really fucked because now you're saying, all right, you're giving the other team points before half. Either one, they're getting back after half and attacking on to more, or your offense does not deliver in the second half and does not give their side of the ball any complimentary football, right? We're not playing any complimentary football. So at the end of the day, the offense craps the bed, and then the defense comes back out, tack on some more points. Boom. That's how we get down. And then the Raiders begin to start turning it on in the fourth quarter. Happened again this last Sunday. Happened for the past 3 games before that. Okay, so that's a nasty habit we have. And at the clip you turn the ball over as an offense, and at the clip you don't get the ball back as a defense, you're going to continue to lose games. You're right now not playing any complimentary football whatsoever. Right? As far as I'm concerned, the goddamn special teams has been the bright spot of the entire team. Right? That's just me. Special teams has been the bright spot. My man Clifford says again, we have to play against the refs and this coaching staff's bad decisions every week. right? And then, and here's the real kicker, right? Once you get down into that area where now you begin to climb back into the game, like we saw Sunday and like we saw against the Steelers the previous Sunday, right? Once you get there, now the coaching decisions are very much highlighted and they're very much in view because you're having to make the perfect decision to win these games at the end of games now, right? Because you fucked yourself in the second and third. Now in the fourth quarter, you have to be perfect. And that's the stress we put on ourselves. But at the end of the day, right, you have to be perfect with your execution as a player, and you have to be perfect with your play calls. You got to put your players in good positions. And especially the last 2 weeks, we haven't seen this coaching staff do that. Towards the end of the games, now we start fucking it off, and the coaching staff chokes because we got to be perfect, and they cannot do it, right? They cannot play a full entirety of quarters and make the adjustments necessary to win the games. But that's where we're at. The play of the Raiders is very simple. Okay, your first half, you have to come out here in the first half and be fucking lights out, right? And we're gonna, I do my keys to victory on Fridays, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. But I mean, first key to victory for me, you as an offense, you got to be more efficient in that second half. Second quarter. All right, second quarter. Because we all know the Raiders start pretty good. It's a pretty good start for the Raiders, but then they start dropping off. So in that second quarter, we got to win the second quarter, okay? And another key to victory, give y'all another little bonus. Since Green Bay is a second half team, right, you have to put your foot on their necks early, right, and stay consistent. You have to stay consistent for 4 quarters in this game. There's no way you can drop off because we've already seen it with Green Bay. It's kind of their habit now. They like to come back in the second half. They don't particularly play a good first half. That's just how they get down, right? So we are typically the same way. All right. We usually start slow in the first half, maybe score us a little 7 points, maybe score you a little 10 points, right? And then after that, it's a struggle to get anything going until maybe that fourth quarter when you can go ahead and score that touchdown when the defenses are playing soft. Now, all of a sudden, you have 17, 18 points, right? That's how it gets. So I think to win this game, you have to win the first half. You have to win the first half. No doubt about it, right? We kind of saw it when Green Bay played Detroit last week, right? Green Bay played Detroit. Detroit hopped on their ass early, right? And then after that, Green Bay started to claw their way back, but they just didn't have enough to come back, right? Same shit with us. That happens with us, right? Teams hop on our ass early. And then we have to claw our way back, and then we just don't have enough. So, like I said, very similar teams, very similar play styles, very similar ways the teams have lost games. So, for me, once again, got to win that first half, right? We got to win that first half. Sun Goddess, what's the deal, man? Going through this, what's the deal with you? How you doing? Bad decisions is an understatement. Man, you feel me? Like, our coaching staff has to make better decisions later in games, right? Later in games, we've just dropped the fuck off. And we cannot continue to do that. We got to, like you just said, Sun Goddess, we got to draw first blood, right? And even then, right? Because what we do, what this team loves to do is score in that first quarter. When your first 10 to 20 scripted plays are coming from Josh McDaniels in that first quarter, it's beautiful football, right? We've seen the offense move at a tremendous pace. When we talking about that first quarter, that first 10 to 20 plays. And keep in mind, in the NFL, your first 10 to 20 plays are scripted plays. Okay, these are motherfucking plays that you have on the sheet that you say, I like this, and this coming out the gate. All right, and at the end of the day, we're going to attack here, and here. The difference in coaching staffs, why some coaching staffs are better than ours, is because after that first 10 to 20, some coaching staffs say, okay, this worked, this didn't work. All right, bang, 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 bang. We're going to attack here, and here. Okay, that's how we're going to attack now. Because we saw this wasn't working right. We might come back to it a little later, but at the end of the day, this is what's working now. So let's attack this, and then maybe we'll come back to this later once other shit opens up. But our coaching staff fails to do that. So here we are, right? Let's see let's see. Really hope we don't have to hear Green Bay fans at our house. Look, and I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Let's have this conversation. Let's have this conversation. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I know a lot of us get mad at the fact that Las Vegas is right now as a stadium, we're horrid, right? Because opposing fans are killing us off. And salute my boy BZ Greg. I'm gonna get to you right. I'm gonna get to your comment in a little bit. But opposing fans are starting to outnumber us. And I understand that. I understand the frustration because it feels like now we do not have a home field advantage. To me, I don't really trip on that. And I know some people are like, oh, it's because it's Vegas. I don't trip on that. And this is the reason why I say I don't trip on it. Is because, one, we got to win fucking games. Right? It's plain and simple. Okay, yes, other fans are going to come here because, one, it's Las Vegas. Right? You got to think about it as a tourist destination. Some motherfuckers are going to come. It's just plain and simple. That's what it is. But two, I don't want to hear that, oh, it's Vegas and we can't outsell people, because you know how our fan base is. If we're winning, get the fuck out of here. No, we're not getting outnumbered. Stop it. If the Raiders are winning games, you know good and goddamn well that stadium would be full of black. Full of black. Right? So I agree. If it's me, I'm not going to a game if we're still shitty because I don't want to waste my money. Right? I'm not wasting my bread. And that's something that Mark Davis got to deal with as far as these Raider fans taking our stand and saying, we're not going to waste that bread. We'll watch the game at home, right, until we have something to cheer for in person. But at the end of the day, I'm not of the one to complain about other fans outnumbering us until we start winning fucking games. All right, that's what comes with the territory when you lose. This is what it is, right? You don't get the respect. You don't get respect from the teams you play, and you don't get respect from the other fan bases. We haven't warranted that yet. So until we start winning games, I'm not going to complain about it. You know what I'm saying? Win games. Win games. Because that's why I never trip on it. You, like I just said, you already know how our fan base is. We're all Raider fans here. We're all family, right? And you know good and goddamn well, if the Raiders were winning games and they're a winning organization, we're gonna take the fucking league over. We're gonna take the league over. You already know how shit gonna get once we start getting good. All of a sudden, Raider memorabilia, Raider shit everywhere, right? Now the NFL gonna push the colors because it's the easiest shit to push, the easiest shit to get people to buy into. Come on, bro. I already know how it's gonna get when the Raiders start winning, and they're in Vegas. They're gonna make bread. Mark my words. When the Raiders begin to win, the NFL is going to be all over our nuts. It's gonna happen. It's just what happens because we're the most easily marketable fucking team that they have. I don't give a shit what anybody else says, bro. This is the easiest marketable team you fuck as a business, easiest marketable team you have. Once they begin to win in a city like Las Vegas, with the type of fan base we have, with the type of market you can reach with this team and this type of shit, stop. They're gonna be all over our nuts. That's just what it is. But we gotta win games. You know what I'm saying? We gotta win games. You see how they do Kansas City? They win, right? And I know we hate Kansas City, but you see how they all over Kansas City. It's gonna be 10 times that Vegas start winning. 10 times that. That's just what it is. But we gotta win games. Let's get to my man Greg. I want to see 13 and 80 and 87 catching balls. Now look, I am so with you on that, bro. I'm like it's sickening thinking about it, right? It's just sickening thinking about it. It's like we have these weapons that we do not use. You have Michael Mayer, who I believe is open a lot, right? That you're not utilizing him. You're utilizing him as a fucking pass blocker, as a run blocker, and all this other shit, bro. That's the shit that I'm talking about with this coaching staff. Why are you doing that? Play to his strengths. His strengths right now are as a pass catcher. Use him. Use him as a pass catcher with Renfro. I've been saying this. The writing's been on the wall with Renfro. To me, the writing's been on the wall. Because I just saw a report today, right, that the Raiders are going to begin to feature Mayer and Trey Tucker a lot more, right? And I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Trey Tucker on any other fucking team, I guarantee you, we would be hearing about him. I swear on everything, bro. I swear on everything. I know some people may be down on him. You're entitled to your opinion. But from what I see on tape, my God, bro, on any other fucking team, he would be killing shit right now. This man be open. This man be open. Speed he has, the type of acceleration this kid has, bro. Man, if we can begin to just get him the ball, bro. If we can just get that kid the ball, I swear on everything, y'all are gonna fall in love with that motherfucker. I like the pick from the jump. I like this kid. I really do. So I think we got to start giving him the ball more because I think this dude can be dynamic. I really do. But with Renfro, that's the reason I say the writing's on the wall with Renfro. And you have DeAndre Carter. To me, it just never made sense. And I know we all love Renfro, but it just never made sense to me how you signed all these guys and gave Renfro that extension, right? You signed a lot of guys that play his position, that do the shit he does. So, or the shit you have him doing. Let's put it like that, right? Let's not say the shit he does, but let's say the shit Josh McDaniels has him doing. You sign guys that can do pretty much that role that we're looking at. So that's the thing, right? But I think they got to start featuring the rookies more, man. They got to start featuring a lot more of the speed that we have, bro. We're not utilizing. Third and Renfro, man. We ain't seen it all. I'm telling you, BZ, you smell it. Smell it, bro. Like, and this is what I'm saying with this new school shit that we got going. And I know we used to win back in the days, but we got to bring some youth, some new energy, right? And that's what I hope to do with this channel as well. Bring some new energy to this shit because that's where it needs to go, right? That's where it needs to go. We need to begin to bring the new energy and at the same time be one of those dynasties, become one of those dynasties that everybody look at. NFL is better. To me, yes, it is. The NFL is better when Raiders are good. To me, it's like when the Lakers are good, right? When the Lakers are good in basketball, it's like it just feels better, right? When the Celtics are good in basketball, it feels better. Like we're one of those teams where we're good. The NFL is like, it's competitive. It feels good, right? Use tight ends at the goal line. Dog, Clifford. You don't understand my frustration when I sit here and say, what the hell did you sign Austin Hooper for? I actually liked the signing. I was like, all right, bro, he'd be able to do some shit. Austin Hooper will be able to do something. Michael Mayer, that's a guy I said, oh, yeah, red zone target immediately. We ain't utilized it, bro, and we ain't utilized it. And that's the thing that's going to piss me off for real because, we got to sit here and watch our talents go to waste. I swear on any other team, these guys would be eating. These guys would be doing stuff. But there's an opportunity to open it up. But will they take the safe route, which I anticipate Josh McDaniels and them doing because they're coaching for their jobs? Regardless of whatever anybody says, right? You heard it here first on the Raider rundown. I don't give a damn if Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler talked to Mark Davis and said we got a 3-year to 4-year plan. Hey, bro. If they look shitty these next 3 to 6 games, watch there be a report come out to say Mark Davis is not fucking with that. Watch there be a report to come out and say Josh McDaniels' job is now not safe or unsecured. It's going to start like that. Some shit like that. It's going to start like that. And then from there, you keep losing games, the sheet gets more and more hot. Right? More and more hot. Now, like I told y'all, I'm not no tanking ass motherfucker. I don't tank. You feel what I'm saying? Like if we bad, man, may the chips fall where they bang. You feel what I'm saying? Like if we're bad, we're bad. Fuck it. Like at least motherfuckers gave effort. We tried. If we're shitty, we're shitty. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But it's a tank purposely. No, you don't do that. You don't do that. Now that's some shit I say that's not Raider-like. You feel what I'm saying? That's not Raider-like. We're gonna talk about the Raider way. We don't do that shit. If we're bad, we're bad, and we take it on the chin and say fuck it, and we'll come back again and we'll see what we do. But we don't take purpose. But if we were bad, and if we are bad, shit, the future may be bright. The future may be bright because I tell you what, you get Caleb Williams out of this, I'm good to go. If you get Drake May out of this, I'm good to go. And especially if you can tell me you get a new coaching staff out of this, that would really rock it. Because like I said, if you are to the point If you are to the point where you're shitty enough to get Drake May or you're shitty enough to get Caleb Williams or some shit like that, bro, Josh McDaniels don't get the luxury to be able to coach one of those dudes. No, no. You can't do that. You don't get the luxury of doing that. Your coaching record's terrible. 7 games up to this point, you've won. You don't get the luxury, right? To coach a talent like that. We got to get somebody else in here, somebody fresh. But like I said, you heard it first. If the Raiders don't do something in these next 3 to 6 games, guarantee you will hear a report that says Josh McDaniels' job is now is viewed to be unsecured. Mark my words. Mark my motherfucking words. I love to see our team play fast. McDaniel seems to be missing the fire gene in his DNA. And that's the thing, right? And you know, I tried to ward it off for a little bit, Greg. I tried to ward it off, bro. But even when I was like, I'm going to say soft defending McDaniels, because that's what it was. So at the end of the day, he don't have it. He don't have that shit to be like, all right, bro, we're going to put a fire in somebody's ass. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for as shitty as the Giants are, you see Dayball on the sidelines, like, man, pissed. Like, man, fuck you. You see what I'm saying? He's pissed. I like that. I like that. When motherfuckers get mad, bro, get mad. Don't just sit there with a stale ass face. That was something I could never like defend. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes to McDaniels, I could never defend that because he always sit there looking stale. It don't make no motherfucking sense. Don't make no sense. Pro, yeah. You see, Greg, that's what I'm saying. Like, even the ones that are soft defending him, it's like, damn, like, show something. But this 3-game stretch, that's what I'm saying. You're coaching for your fucking life. That little clip of Josh McDaniels getting fired the fuck up when the defense stopped the Chargers on, I believe it was like a 4th and 3, something like that in the game. 3rd quarter, something like that. You got to do more of that. More. You feel what I'm saying? Do more of that. You coaching for your fucking life. This is for your head coaching life. These next 3 games. Monday night especially. In front of prime time. Everybody's going to be able to dissect you on Monday night. The NFL is watching. Monday, you're going to be dissected. Everybody's going to look at you and say, what the fuck are y'all going to do today? What's Josh McDaniels going to do? The genius. Now, I can't lie to you. I did say what I said, but I'm not stupid either, right? Like, I'm not dumb either. If it's me and I'm like that and we're that shitty, I'm not going to lie. For a little bit, I'll be like, yeah, you know, I really. Now, of course, we're going to have the players go out there, but in the back of my head, I'll be like, it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be bad. But then again, like I said, if I'm the coach, bro, you don't get that luxury. Unless, like, it's your first year. It's your first year and the team is, like, really shit. If it's your first year and the roster is shit like that, then it'd be like, all right, well, you know, hey, they made a chip fall where they made. But the roster isn't shit. That's the problem, right? That's the problem. We look at the Raiders. You can say, for all intents and purposes, McDaniels took a playoff team, made it worse. Now, if you are new to the channel, my feelings on that playoff team are in quotation marks because that's not Derek Carr and them wasn't a sustainable team. All right, but I'm not going to get into that, whatever the case, you know, there's not a sustainable ass team. But, right, you still did come in here and you had a top 15 ranked offense, and now we're in 29. So, and this is your offense. And last year you had the 13th. Leo, what's the deal, man? What's happening with you, man? What's going on? Bears game might be for that first pick. No, dead ass. Look what I'm saying right here. We're seeing it back-to-back weeks. They're about to fuck around and let Washington back in this game, bro. Back in this game. Because there's still 9:20 left on the clock, bro. Washington only down by 10. Washington can come back. I mean, they've shown the ability. They can come back. So if Chicago lose this game, it's like, damn, you know, that's going to be a long season. And I already know that, bro, they're going to fuck around and take Caleb Williams. I mean, they'd be stupid not to. They'd be dumb not to. To take Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison immediately, I'd do it. I'd do it if I was Chicago. You'd have to fuck around. You'd have to trade Justin Fields. And if it's me, I trade Justin to Atlanta. I think Justin Fields in Atlanta would work. I really do. With him and Bijan Robinson, dirty, right? Very, very dirty. I like that. But you know, the Bears are going to take Caleb Williams. They're going to take Caleb Williams. If they don't, be a very shock. But then it all depends if the Raiders lose, right? Like if the Raiders lose on Monday, then it's like, all right, well, now we get to looking for the future to see what fucking pick we have, who the fuck we like. I'll start scouting quarterbacks early and shit. We start doing that shit on the channel if that's what y'all want to do. Because I was scouting them heavy last offseason, but I wasn't really doing film and shit like I'm doing now. So we can really, really scout this offseason and get it in. So, like I'm saying, like, if we're that bad, we're getting that type of fucking pick, it's like, damn, let's start putting up some Caleb Williams film and start looking at his highlights and shit. Start getting excited. Start getting excited about Drake May and shit, which I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I really like Drake May. If we got him too, I wouldn't be fucking mad at all. At all. Him and a coach like Ben Johnson, beautiful. That's chef's kiss shit right there, man. Man, and you feel me? Like, I guess they have been. I guess, we look at some and they have been, getting on some people's ass. But at the end of the day, what can we say? This team right here, man, just they need to find it within themselves. The coach staff needs to find it within themselves to go ahead and pull out a dub, bro. No excuses. No excuses. So, what time? We at 50. So I think boom, there you go. So I think we about that time, man. Let's go ahead, go over. You know how we do, man. You gotta teach Take Thursday, man. We gotta go ahead and get up in here, man. So we're gonna go ahead. And the film is always provided by one of my good friends, Marcus Johnson. So if you don't follow him already on Twitter, go ahead at the Mark John NFL, follow him. But we're gonna look at a little Aiden O'Connell film, right? And I'm gonna try to look here and say my bad. I just got a text message, just threw me all the way off. But we're gonna go in here and see why I believe that he does warrant to start for the rest of the season, right? So let's look at the first one. We go here. Let's see what Mark said. The Chargers were ready for the inside routes. The first third down of the game was cover 2 versus the double dig concept. Can see the linebacker Kendricks eyeing Adams on the deep dig route. Nothing but the check downs for O'Connell and max sack number 1. Now, this you could say is on coaching. Now let's watch it. Pull from the wide angle. Boom, comes in. Stop it here. Yeah. So far, nowhere to go, right? You can argue maybe if your boy was coming out here, then he'd be able to do something. But we're saying that he's running the dig, so I believe he's going to come in and come down here, right? So at the end of the day, you look here, nowhere to go. You look here, nowhere to go. Here's barely developing. We keep going. Boom, boom. There's just nothing there. But what really fucks it up here is that our O-line does not pass off the stunt. They don't pass off the stunt here. Boom. You see Matt come free. Here he is here. Parham, this is Van Roten. Van Roten, like I said, veterans need to play better. Van Roten is still double teaming the end here. Not focusing on Mac, not passing it off as he should. And then O'Connell gets sacked. Easy sack for Mac. That's the number 1. Now let's look at it from the top. Boom. You see Mac here. You see 56 here. I believe that's Fox. Below 2 comes on the other side. Linebackers drop off, right? Boom. Now we good here. We stop it here, we're straight. Right? Van Roten got his hands on below 2. Illuminor is looking at Mac. Now, in a perfect world, you see Mac going here, right? already this motherfucker's back is turned here with Van Roten, so we're not in any position to win at all, right? But right, you see Mac here in a perfect world, you say, okay, you pass that off, they communicate here, boom, Van Roten slides his feet, gets in front of Mac, we straight, we good to go. All right, but like I said, his back is turned, nowhere to go downfield, like we saw. Mac free. All right, and 9 times 10, probably damn near 10 times out of 10, Mac is going to bring the quarterback down. He's that free. All right, so I put that one there on the O line. To me, you can do better, right? The O line's got to do better. You got a veteran in Van Roten, and if you got Van Roten doing this, a lot of people are arguing that we could have just kept Alex Bars, which is correct, right? We could have just kept Alex Bars if they thought Van Roten was going to be this type of upgrade, which he's not. But and it's a positive, right? When the Raiders were down 24-7, O'Connell woke up. My favorite thing on film was him being able to anticipate his throws to Adams, which is challenging, right? Which is challenging. But O'Connell wants Myers first. Knowing he has time, he comes back to Adams before his route is done. Good anticipation. And this is the thing I was saying in my video the other day, right? I believe his superpower, one of his strengths, is his anticipation, right? And we saw it in preseason. We really saw it on display. Even in this game, there are dots of it on display. Okay, so at the end of the day, I believe, and he got that, like we explained, with very minimal reps. Okay, now remember, he was the 3rd string quarterback going into that game before being thrust into a starter. So very, very minimal reps, was not really prepared. So that's with a lot of reps, not with the first team, not with Devontae, a lot of shit like that. Now, if we continue, I think this only gets stronger, right? This only strengthens. Let's watch. When you see here, now look, you got Devontae here, Myers here. Now he's going to read and scan this right side of the field here, right? But knows he can still come back to Devontae, and let's watch him do that. Bang, isn't in. Okay, you can see scanning. Wants him first. Okay, looking, but he's bracketed. 1, 2, 3. All right, but the Chargers are dumb enough to throw single coverage here to Devontae's way. So now, as we keep going, easy money. Devontae's running this little comeback route here. He whips that back. Boom, comes back in. Now look where he throws this, bro. This is the shit I'm talking about with him. And this is the shit that makes me excited. Look when he throws this. It's not all the way out the break yet. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this isn't even all the way out the break where he's turning his head like that. If we turn it back a little more, boom. He's in that motion. He's already beginning to throw. The break is not even out yet. You feel what I'm saying? These are one of those throws where you're like, okay, you know, it's a feel of the game that I like. You know what I mean? It's a real feel of the game. Now look, let's see it from the tight. See it from the tight. Watch his movement in the pocket too. This is another thing I like about him. Now, he was a little happy feet in the beginning, but he really calmed down. And this is what happens when he calms down. Good feet, comes back to it, even with all the surrounding pressure. But at the end of the day, Illuminor does a good job here, right? Boom. Nice, steady delivery. You feel me? Like, these are the things that I really like about Aiden O'Connell that I feel like you can use, you can really get. Now, here we go from the back end. Maybe we'll be able to see a little more from Devontae as well. Boom. Look here. Comes back. Yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. But this is what happens when you see him calm down and get in rhythm. Okay, now we continue. Going up, going up. Oh. O'Connell with nice anticipation on this one to Adams. Got quarters to the field and trail man on Adams with inside leverage for the dig. Sick route by Adams, selling the dig with the ball out on time for a first down. A little behind, but when you early, it makes a completion. Right? And again, him being behind is just a product of timing as well, I believe. It's a product of timing. It's a product of time. It's a product of being in rhythm, not being there with the receivers a lot, not having a lot of reps. But with more reps comes more things like this. Now, here we are. right? Like he said, Adams is here, running this route here to sell the dig, but comes on out here. Okay, we're watching O'Connell. This is a great pocket, perfect pocket. Here, all right, begins to throw here. Already in the throwing motion, ball is released. Look where Adams is. The superpower, right? The anticipation, the superpower. Look where Adams is here. Barely out of the break. The ball's out. The ball's gone. You feel me? So as we're already here, boom, easy money. All you gotta do is turn around. It's right in the breadbasket. Now, like he says, a little to the inside, a little behind. But to me, it looks like he's trying to lead him upfield, right? So he gets a little more yardage. Because sometimes you can, if he catches it here, he could just turn and go run, right? Instead of just coming here and having to turn and go up. So at the end of the day, to me, I like the way he kind of leads him upfield. He's able to get more yardage. That's what it looks like to me. But that's just my 2 cents. It's my 2 cents. Once again, I want to see it again. Just one more time. God damn, bro. That's a beautiful fucking route by Devontae, too. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Like, bro, Devontae is a fucking technician. Like, that's one of the coldest motherfuckers I've ever seen. No lies. One of the coldest motherfuckers I've ever seen. But we're seeing it again. Beautiful. Now, here we go. One of the reasons Matt got so many one-on-ones versus the Raiders, they're worried about Pelotu, right? And to bring that up, Josh McDaniels and his pressure said they threw the kitchen sink at Khalil Mack. It was shown that they only threw a chip at him 3% of the time. 3% of the snaps. Keep that in mind. He gets the chip here for Mary, leaving Mack one-on-one with Illuminor. Murray beats Jacobs on the blitz, forcing O'Connell to move. Mack cleans it up. Now, this is more on the offensive line than just O'Connell. But here we look. Murray comes on the blitz. Boom. Here. We look here. And, you know, Jacobs is usually winning on these. But, you know, a little loss. So already we're in the backfield. You know, already we're in the backfield. He has to move. Mack is one-on-one with Jermaine Illuminor running the loop. Boom, comes and cleans. So that's more on the offensive line than it is O'Connell when you look, right? Because at the end of the day, you know, we're sitting here looking at the offensive line being inconsistent, you know, but Jacobs lost that rep as well, so it forced him to move up. But Jermaine Illuminor got his ass whipped on that one. He got his ass whipped on that, right? And he got to face that. He got his ass whipped on that. So, not a good rep by the offensive line at all, right? At all. But that's the film I wanted to show you, man. Just a little bit of the anticipatory throws, man. Yeah, Mack was fast as hell. Just a little bit of anticipatory throws, just some of the things that I think make O'Connell, you know, I could be a better option for us than Jimmy G. But at the end of the day, you know, I still think they're going to roll with him, and we'll see what happens on Monday night. But remember, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys are hitting the like, hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you guys are tapping on the notification bell. If you like this live, make sure you keep tapping on the bell, man, because I got more lives coming every Thursday, 7 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern time, right? Make sure you guys are tapping on all the buttons. It was great to be back with y'all on this lovely Thursday. Remember, I got my keys to victory tomorrow on Friday, right? So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. And you know I always keep it authentic from the clouds to the ground. On the Radio Rundown.
I need a bad bitch with an accent, serving in peace, still taxing. Just got tapped for the young cash app, moonwalking like a young Mike Jackson. Yeah, shots to the head, ride clean and still fuck feds. Realest nigga and it's on my kids, so who the fuck gon' wanna test me, bitch?